welcome to the Kidmin Huddle. You guys are in for a treat today because we're in my basement. I am seeing a lot of posts. A lot of people are asking for resources. Hey, what are you guys stocking your parent resource center with? What do you use in this situation? And so I thought I would just give you guys a little tour. So today is a visually exciting episode of the Kidmin Huddle. If you're listening to this on audio, make sure you go over to my YouTube page, Amber Pike. You can find it at amberpike.org. Go there and watch the video because if you're a visual learner like me, I'm more visual. I like to see things and I'm going to give you a tour. Now, full disclosure, we have an unfinished basement. This is my office because we built our house, and when we built, I did not have the super cool jobs that I have had for the last 10 years. I was just a children's minister. I did not have nearly the amount of stuff. I'm like, I don't need an office. Why would I need an office? Hindsight, I wish I had an office. So you will see rafters up above because there's not a ceiling, and there's insulation in the basement, and it's a hot mess, but I love it and it's cozy. So first we're gonna take a little tour. You might get a little, jostly, and we're gonna go over to my desk because we're gonna come back to this beautiful masterpiece here. But I thought I would just give you the full thing. So my desk, my ministry wall. If you like pause and zoom in, really weird, you might see yourself on the wall. I've got all the cool pop figures, all that. But I have been seeing so many people ask the question, hey, what resources do you use? That I've started. I like pretty notebooks, and I like pretty tabs and pens. And I have a section in this notebook just of resources that I'm recommending, and I'm writing them down by themes. I have a bunch of stuff over here in this little tiny shelf. Well, one, we've got the Happy Meal cart, and we have the stuff I need to read through. But then I have a whole thing of DVDs. I love DVDs. I do. So I've got all of the What's in the Bible DVDs from Phil Vischer. I don't remember the brand that is. Minnow? No, Jellyfish. Love it. I've got all of my old VeggieTales. I have all of the Wild Brother DVDs. If your kids love missions and want to learn about what it's like living in the mission field, these are awesome. So I've got all of those. Here's what we're working on this year in school with my kids. I homeschool. We are doing the 10-minute Bible journey from Dale Mason and Ken Ham through Answers in Genesis. It's 52 weeks overview of the Bible, the big picture of the Bible, how it's all connected, the meta narrative. So we're doing that. And then we're working on some catechisms. I did this with my son when he was little, but now that my daughter is, there's 6 years difference between them. So we are working through the New City Catechism. I had a friend who recommended this, Station McKeever, if you're listening, totally stole this from your Facebook idea. They are working through her group, Search the Bible from the Daily Grace Company. And I really am impressed with this. This is the first thing I've done through them. If you have younger, maybe preteens, younger teens, if you're leading a Bible study of maybe younger Christians who don't know how to study their Bible, I like this. Great for like note-taking, all of that. All right. So that was that introduction. Now we're going to go back to the bookshelf. Now, this bookshelf came because I love books. I have a lot of books. My books cabinet upstairs in my bedroom, sorry, can't get it on my thing, there we go, was overflowing. So I got this super cool curved, it's an angle, and then it has curved edges. It's so cool. It's upstairs in my bedroom, and I'm like, but what do I do with this? Because this is a perfectly good bookshelf. What do I do with it? I know, I'm gonna make a section in the basement. So we homeschool. The part that you don't see is that we have our homeschool table and even more books and everything over there. And then we have my desk and filing cabinet of all the things, and then church stuff and craft stuff. And then we have an old couch that's a sleeper bed that my dad got from an old boss's office, because that's how we roll with used furniture, right? And then we have this. So I've been working on this summer doing this bookshelf as my ministry resources. Now I have a ton more stuff over there, more teaching things, but these are going to be the books. Now, another disclaimer. Not all resources are created equal. I have seen several things recently, and you will, if you were to pause and zoom in on this, you will see some resources that I do not recommend. If you know my journey, you know that I worked for a different organization for about 5 years, and I did reviews of products people would send to me. So I have stuff on here that I would not have purchased. There are some stuff on this shelf because honestly, like one, if it was sent to me, I'm not like, tossing it out, because that's just not okay. There is stuff on here that I think is sacrilegious and blasphemous. So please check through your resources. There was something that came in the mail recently to me, and I was angry all day that they would do this, that they would just distort God's word in this way, and it was from one of the major publishers. So just because you've previously liked something from a publisher doesn't mean that it's still okay. Doesn't mean that everything that they produce is going to be okay. Just because you've previously read something from an author and you think that it's probably okay, not necessarily the case. Each and every resource that you put in the hands of kids, of parents, of your volunteers, of whomever, needs to be completely looked at by you. I'll give you an example. There's a book on that shelf. It didn't make the cool shelf. For teens, about worldview, answering questions, all this. Loved the book. Loved the way that the book was written, except for one chapter. When dealing with the issue of homosexuality, this author, I felt in her wording, basically said, yes, it's wrong, but I've struggled with this and I face this temptation. So yeah, you just might face the temptation and that's fine. And I didn't like her wording. And I felt like her wording on this issue that I know many teens face was basically giving it's okay. It's okay if you're gay. Just, ignore that. And it didn't line up with God's word. So I will not recommend that book because of one chapter. Otherwise, it would have been a phenomenal resource in my opinion. But one chapter, the wordings that she used, So each and everything needs to be completely previewed by you before you put your seal of approval on it. All right, let's get down to it. Some of my favorites. Now, this is not all of my favorites because that podcast would be too long. I'm just going to give you some of my top favorites. And I'm going to start shamelessly by showing you the Family Cookbook Devotional. It is my absolute favorite thing for kids because, well, hey, I made it. But I've seen it work. It is beautiful on the inside. It's all gingham and fun, and there's really fun, attractive pictures. But the premise of this book is they are going to make something together as a family. Like, look at that. Don't you want to make some Rocky Road treat bars with your kids? That's a memory making event. One, you get something delicious to eat at the end, but you're making a memory. It's not so much a chore, not a to-do. You're making the treat. You're doing a devotion. You're getting in God's word together. It's not some fluffy light, you're in the Bible. You're reading the Bible. This one, you're reading Revelation 21 and you're talking about what's heaven like as you make these. These are heavenly treats, like streets, get it? Little punny. Then there is discussion questions. There are prayer prompts. And then there are little questions that you can use the rest of the week. So this could be like your family dinner time devotion. Super fun, super great. Love it. You can go get it anywhere. That's always going to be my number one recommendation because I made it until I make something else that I replace it with. So up here I have some resources that are more either children's ministry or things that I would give to parents. This is a new one that I just read. Who Am I? Solving the Identity Puzzle. This is by Martin Iles. He is, I think, the current new CEO of Answers in Genesis. This was probably the coolest book I've read recently on the inside. If you can see, it's just fun. It's got colored pictures and you can see I write in my books and I dog ear pages and I put little tabs on things. Really well written, very easy to read, unpacking a really big topic, and basically that our identity issue that we see in the world is because we don't know who we are in Christ. Love it. I would say middle school and up could read this. I could give this to my 13-year-old and he could devour it and be absolutely fine. It's written in such a way that anybody can understand it. Really loved it. My friend Christy Thomas just wrote a really great book, Little Habits, Big Faith, and this is a great book for parents. It's talking about just start small. It's your job to disciple, so start small. Read a devotion, memorize a verse, do something a little bit, and that little habit, when you make it a habit, is going to become something bigger. So great for parents. Oldie but a goodie, Raising Godly Children in an Ungodly World by Ken Ham and Steve Ham. Love it. See, I'm not showing you everything. You don't get to know it all. This book, God You Are, is through Crossway. It's written by William Osborne, and it's 20 promises from the Psalms for kids. And so I love teaching kids about attributes of God and who God is. Very fun. Like that's the devotion. It's not super lengthy. We enjoyed this as a family. I like this one. These are my favorite books for littles. This is something that should absolutely be stocked in your church nursery. These are the Big Theology for Little Heart series. They're board books, and it is tackling theology for littles. Simple illustrations, but very engaging. Not a ton of words. See, that's one of my pet peeves with books. Sometimes I think kids' books are good at getting a little too wordy for the attention span that they are aimed at. So love these. We've got God, the gospel, the Holy Spirit, the church, Jesus, creation. Love, love, love them. Great books. I also love the Clever Cub series, perfect for preschoolers. Clever Cub is the most adorable little bear, and he goes about life with his little bunny friend, Fred. Now, if my friends at David C. Cook are listening to this, can you please message me, email me, text me, whatever, carrier pigeon, let me know. Is Fred real? Or is he imaginary, like that he comes to life? He's a stuffed animal in some scenes, but sometimes he seems real. And my children and I, my 13-year-old and I have had lengthy discussions. Is Fred an actual bunny or just a stuffed bunny imaginary friend? I don't know. So David C. Cook people, can you let me know? I love Clever Cub as he goes on his adventures, as he's exploring the world. He wants to learn more about God, and Mama Bear will tell him some really beautiful Bible stories. So she's telling Bible stories, and you get to see Clever Cub's reaction to it. He pulls his ear when he's thinking, and then there is go a little further with your Clever Cub readers. Love the Clever Cub series. So sweet, so sweet. These three are super awesome books written by Laura Ritchie. My favorite is the Advent Storybook. I have used this for so many years for Christmas. My family does this every single Christmas, no matter what else we are doing. But it is the why that Jesus came. And what I love about it is that you go to the very first one. As I turn through all the beginning pages, starts the Christmas story with creation. Because we can't have Jesus until we understand God's perfect world, until we understand sin. That's why we have Jesus. Love the Advent Storybook. Now, when you're typing in, make sure you get like the right person, because there's other things on Amazon called the Advent Storybook. She also has made the Easter Storybook, also great, and then the Go and Tell Storybook, which is Great Commission, sharing about Jesus after his life and death. Those are super great. If you are dealing with, or if you have a child who is trying to figure out things like why their death, maybe they've lost a loved one, maybe they have family members going through pain or suffering, The Moon is Always Round is a beautiful, beautiful book. The family is experiencing a miscarriage. So maybe, like, you know, in the book world, this trigger warning, be sensitive to what your child in your ministry is going through before you give this, possibly, as well as mom and dad, because if they just had a miscarriage, this might hit a little too close to home. But this is a beautiful book that reminds children that no matter what is happening, when it could be something horrible and devastating and so sad, just as the moon is always round, even if we can't see it, God is always good. Love this book. It's written by Jonathan Gibson. And there's not, man, if you guys know of other resources that are dealing with death and why we have pain and suffering for kids, I would love to know, because there's not a lot out there. And I see this question asked a lot. This is the only one I've got for young kids on God is still a good God, even when the world is not. So I love this book. If you want something fun and different for Christmas, the Sparkle Box is such a fun gift. A book that comes with an interactive activity. So I did a whole lesson series on this one time. It's an oldie. I've had it for a while, but it has its own in the back. It has its own sparkle book. And the premise of the gift is that they have a sparkle box and they're filling it up with gifts for Jesus. And the little boy's like, I don't know what to put, like, what do I put in a gift for Jesus? And it sits there. And as they go through their Christmas season, they're doing all the Christmassy things. But mom and dad are intentionally leading their kids, and they're doing service opportunities. You know, they're taking food to the food kitchen, or donating old coats that don't fit them anymore to the homeless, and all these things. And so on Christmas morning, The little boy's like, I never figured out a gift for God. And mom's like, yeah, you did. And she shows him, and she pulls out of the sparkle box all the things that they did for other people, helping other people, and how that's a gift for God. So beautiful book, comes with a great application, great way to help families focus outwardly during Christmas. Super fun. If you were a fan of The War Room and the Kendrick Brothers, because who's not a fan of the Kendrick Brothers? Peter's Perfect Prayer Place is a very fun book. This little boy, Peter, goes through, well, where's his place to pray? And this comes with, if it's still in here, had a fun little like sticker chart on praying. So very fun, very cute. All right, I'll give you just a couple more. These books from New Growth Press are pretty good. God Cares for Me, God Made Babies, God Made Me in His Image. Sorry, I had a weird face because I was reading upside down there. And God Made Me for Heaven. There's a lot more. I have one upstairs, I believe. I don't know where I put it. I have one that I just got, that God Made Boys and God Made Girls. Theologically deep and rich. My only complaint is that sometimes they feel a little bit too wordy for the age group, and the kids kind of lose some interest. God Made Boys and Girls, love it. I don't know where I put it, honestly. I think it's upstairs somewhere, because I was doing it for an article, because I'm doing an article on apologetics resources that is going to be out in the spring 2025 issue of the Renew Nation Review, and you absolutely need it. So, but sometimes I find these a little too wordy for the age group. My 7-year-old loses interest a little bit, but they are good and theologically rich and deep. So I like that. The God Made Boys and Girls is a really great book. Marty Machowski wrote that for kids, and God made you a boy, God made you a girl, and that's that. So good books. Let's see. Let me pick out, oh, this one was a good one. It's also his birthday today on the day of recording. My friend Joshua Cooley just came out with I Can't Believe My Eyes. And this is a very fun book visually, because sometimes the pages go the opposite way. I don't remember what page it is. Oh, this one. It's got a fold out, and it's using the analogy of the kite to understand God. We can't see God. We can't see wind. So super fun. Joshua Cooley has a ton of stuff. His Heroes of the Bible devotion is very good. He's got some grown-up devotions too. Man, he's written everything. Go be his friend, Joshua Cooley. He's awesome. He has been on the podcast before. I pretty much own all of the Answers in Genesis books. We pulled out a book on dragons the other day with my kids. The Flood of Noah. They have tons of wonderful resources, apologetics-based, biblical worldview-based. So many good ones. Jesus Saves, the Gospel for Toddlers, with a sticky note that I left on there. That's a good one as well. But again, not all of these, I don't love them. I have some that I don't love. I have some from the Dollar Tree. God Made Earth. These are ones that I actually did use in a preschool classroom for a while, because it was very simple. I have said a lot in this. I'm sorry, because I'm distracted, because I'm looking at books and trying to talk to you and think at the same time. So I apologize for the overuse of in this episode. But this Dollar Tree one, it's good, it's simple, it's theology, but not everything is. Not everything for major publishers is. You absolutely need to make sure what you're using lines up with God's word. Now, I'm going to show you 3 more last ones. These are my TBR family list, the things that we are going to be going through right now. Like I said, we're doing the 10-minute Bible through the Bible thing from Answers in Genesis, but these are kind of next up for my families when we're finishing the other things we're doing. We're doing this praise jar devotion that I wrote. And the next up, I've got these 3. We're going to be going through Long Story Short. We're going to be going through Foundational Truth, the New Catechism from Israel Lane. And then we're going to be going through Fruitful from Christy Thomas. So those are kind of in the pipeline for my family. There are so many great things out there. Vanessa Myers has Breakfast with Jesus. That's really fun. I've got book after book after book. Some are great. Some are Some are just not even lining up with God's word, and I don't know why a publisher would make it. But Your job, ministry leader, part of your job is to equip mom and dad with resources that they can use at home. That is not it. There's so much more to family ministry than that. There's so much more to children's ministry than just sending home stuff. But we do want to send home stuff. Things like music, scripture music. Man, Seeds Family Worship makes great music. Ty Rumble makes great word for word scripture music. There are other guys and gals out there who make some just great praise music. ENC, Doorpost, lots of great stuff out there. How can you equip families, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas? How can you equip them to lead? How can you help your children grow in their faith while at home because you have them maybe an hour a week? Maybe 2 hours a month total. Maybe. Some kids more, some kids less. So what are you giving them at home so that they can grow in their faith? There's great stuff. I really recommend this one. Get the Family Cookbook Devotional. But above all, make sure that you are vetting that resource and making sure, first and foremost, it lines up with God's Word. So, happy shopping. I hope I gave you some ideas. Go to Amazon, go to all your favorite book people, add to cart, order for your families. And remember, what you do matters.